10 decisive seconds that saved Trump. The decision that almost cost a president. April 25th, 2026. 2100 hours and 5 minutes. Washington Hilton, U.S. Capitol. A man runs down a service corridor, shotgun against his chest. Red carpet muffling every step. At the end of the corridor, a security checkpoint. One federal agent. A double door that opens into the underground ballroom where the President of the United States is having dinner. The agent sees the silhouette appear, draws, fires. The man with the shotgun fires back. The round hits the agent in the chest. The body armor absorbs most of the impact. He drops to one knee, falls back onto the red carpet. The radio on his shoulder hisses. 1 second, 2 seconds, another shot, and another, and another. The corridor fills with low smoke, the kind that doesn't rise, that hangs at waist height, spreading across the yellow ceiling lights. At least 3 rounds before backup arrives. And 4 feet past that double door, inside the ballroom, no one knows yet. 700 guests in tuxedos. Silverware tapping porcelain. The president is at the head table, speaking quietly with the First Lady. The vice president to his left, laughing at something the president of the Correspondents Association just said. The microphone on the dais glows red. Table 3 applauds a toast no one quite caught. And then the sound reaches the ballroom, filtered through walls, muted.
Simply must try
A thump that seems to come from another floor. The forks stop. Secret Service agents start appearing on the dais from the sides. No audible warning. No shouted order to take cover. As if they sprouted out of the floor. They come from behind the curtains, from tables where they stood disguised as waiters, from the wings of the stage. Weapons drawn. A gloved hand touches the vice president's shoulder. He stands in one motion, without looking around, without asking. In 3 steps, he is off the table. In 5, he is at the side. In 7, he is behind the curtain. And the president, on the same dais, watches the vice president move, and does something that is not in any manual. He raises his hand. He tells them to wait. The Secret Service starts counting 10 seconds. No one in the ballroom knows the counting has started. And it's at this moment, with the agent down in the corridor, with the vice president already off the dais, with the president still seated telling them to wait, that this video has to pause. Because what happened in those 10 seconds was not luck. It was calculation. And understanding the calculation means understanding why America almost lost a president, and who decided it would not. Rewind the clock. 4 hours earlier, same hotel, same corridor. Nobody knows yet that the man staying 1 floor up is carrying a shotgun in his luggage. 5 p.m. Washington Hilton in event mode. The outer perimeter has been armed for hours. Metal detectors lined along the main entrance. Post-screening agents on the internal staircases. Counter-assault teams inside the ballroom, distributed by defensive radius. Waiters who are not waiters. 700 guests begin to arrive and pass through 4 layers of security before reaching their tables. The whole hotel breathes event, but the whole hotel also breathes ordinary lodging. That's the problem. The Washington Hilton has more than 1,000 rooms. Guests come and go. Service carts go up and down. The outer perimeter is rigid. The inner perimeter is porous by design. In one of those rooms, a man who checked in 1 or 2 days earlier is going through the contents of his own luggage. A 12-gauge shotgun, a semi-automatic handgun, a knife, all carried inside ordinary suitcases, transported by ground travel. At the front desk, he was just another name on the list. No incident flagged at check-in. No cross alert between the hotel chain and the Secret Service. In 4 hours, that name will cross 4 feet of the most protected corridor in the American capital. And the Secret Service will have 10 seconds to decide who walks out of the dais alive. Before we continue, hit the bell for notifications. Reconstructions at this level of detail are disappearing fast from YouTube. You may not find another channel covering political violence against an American president with this depth. Subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments, with one word only, just one.
We have an anomaly on the
Do
screen
you
here,
believe those 10 seconds were luck or training?
Right this way, keep the line moving.
8:45 p.m. The shooter leaves his room. The countdown begins to approach 0. No one makes a transcontinental crossing to reach this hotel by accident. The suspect boarded a train in Los Angeles, crossed the country to Chicago, took a second train to Washington. 3 days of travel. Train, not plane. A plane checks luggage. A train does not. The second clue is inside his room. A manifesto of about 1,000 words, sent to his family minutes before the attack. The document carries what the author himself calls rules of engagement. It lists targets from the highest rank down to the lowest. It does not name the president, but it refers to a traitor whose crimes he was no longer willing to allow. The director of the FBI, according to the text, is off the list, for reasons not made clear. Hotel staff, guests, Capitol Police, National Guard, all excluded as targets. The manifesto even explains the choice of ammunition: heavy birdshot, to minimize wall penetration and reduce collateral casualties. A mechanical engineer applying engineering methodology to an assassination attempt. The shooter's plan accounted for every move. The Secret Service's plan did too. 2,100 hours and 4 minutes. The two plans are about to meet in the same corridor. The shooter takes the internal elevators down, crosses the lobby, passes through the first outer layer, along the route he had already mapped in earlier check-ins. The metal detectors were left behind hours earlier. He never passed through them on arrival with the luggage. He enters the service corridor leading to the ballroom. He sees the last security checkpoint between him and the double door. He picks up the pace. He doesn't walk. He doesn't try to blend in. He runs. He draws. He fires. The agent goes down. 1 second. 2 seconds. The radio on the dais starts talking. And here is where geography decides everything. 4 feet between the shooter and the double door. 65 feet between that door and the dais. 7 counter-assault agents inside the ballroom, 2 of them positioned within 3 steps of the president, 1 within 3 steps of the vice president. The Secret Service rule isn't improvisation, it's calculation. Age, weight, mobility, 79 years old against 41. Whoever moves faster leaves second. Whoever moves slower needs more advance time. And time, in that instant, was counted in seconds. That's why the vice president's detail extracted first. His detail is smaller, more agile, faster on the rehearsed sequence. The president's is larger, operates with different responsibilities, has a different extraction corridor. Moving the president immediately is not always correct. In certain scenarios, moving immediately means moving toward danger, not away from it. Former agent Paul Eckloff, who served on the president's protective detail during his first term, stated that the decision to move the president was made in less than 10 seconds. 2,100 hours, 5 minutes, and 2 seconds. The agent on the dais touches the vice president's shoulder. The 10-second countdown has just begun. Touch. Stand. Out. The gloved hand grips the vice president's shoulder. He stands in the same motion. Not dramatically. Pure training. He does exactly what he rehearsed in dozens of drills. In 3 steps, he is off the table. In 5, he is at the side. In 7, he is behind the curtain. No warning, no shouting, no order. On the same dais, the president follows with his eyes, watches the vice president leave. He does not stand. He raises his hand. He tells the agents to wait. He would later describe on 60 Minutes, asking the agents to give him a minute, that he was curious to see what was happening. The agents insisted. He finally went down to the floor with the First Lady and said, afterward, that he had been through this a few times before, but that she had not. In the corridor, the exchange of fire continued. At least 3 rounds before containment, according to agents briefed on the response. The agent who was hit was wearing armor. The vest absorbed the main impact. He goes down, but he survives. Other counter-assault agents take position in the corridor. Crossfire. The shooter falls back again, goes down. He is contained alive. 4 feet, 10 seconds, 1 corridor. In the ballroom, 700 people on the floor, some crouched behind tables, others already filming with their phones. Reporter Tyler Pager of the New York Times described agents appearing on the dais without any audible warning. Gold-leafed chairs tipped on their sides. The dais empty in 3 consecutive cuts. Vice President gone, President down. The Correspondents Association president still seated in the chair beside the one that had been Trump's. The shooter on the floor, contained. The wounded agent being assisted by his colleagues. The president finally under the table. The First Lady beside him. The ballroom holds a silence that lasts 3 seconds before the first scream, and one man at table 16 still eating his burrata salad, refusing to drop.
Absolutely.
He would later cite a back problem and a tuxedo too new for the carpet. The scene was recorded by dozens of phones. Within minutes, the footage was online. There was no collective prayer. There was no chant. There was scattered applause when the agents confirmed the president was safe. There was an embrace from the president of the Correspondents Association beside the empty dais. That is the difference between an attacked event and a terrorized event. What you just watched is not dramatization. It is reconstruction. The shooter's name is Cole Thomas Allen, 31 years old. Mechanical engineer, graduated from the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, in 2017. Master's degree from California State University, Dominguez Hills, in 2025. Private company tutor in math and science. Teacher of the Month in 2024. Amateur video game developer on a public platform. Hometown, Torrance, suburb of Los Angeles, California. And he is the 3rd man in 21 months to come close to killing the same president. July 13, 2024. Rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. A 20-year-old shooter fired 8 rounds from the rooftop of a nearby building. The president's ear was grazed. 1 spectator killed, 2 wounded. The shooter was taken down by a Secret Service sniper. September 15, 2024. Golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida. A federal agent opened fire on an armed man hidden near the course before the president could approach. April 25, 2026. Washington, Hilton. A shooter 4 feet from the ballroom, 10 seconds of tactical decision. The acting attorney general stated on Meet the Press that the security system operated exactly as the plan dictated. Former agent Eckloff said in an interview that the decision to move the president was made in less than 10 seconds. Former Secret Service Assistant Director Michael R. Centrella confirmed that the suspect was apprehended before entering the ballroom. 3 attempts. 3 completely different scenarios. 21 months. How long can reaction keep compensating for the failures of prevention?
Covers the ground levels.
Former Agent Eklof was direct. Expanding the hotel perimeter for the next edition would be a tactical mistake. It would dilute the security presence where it is most needed. But he also listed, regarding Butler in 2024, failures in preparation, execution, and gunfire that the Secret Service did not commit at the Hilton. At the Hilton, he saw the opposite: fast and brilliant containment, but failures of prevention that need to be named. The suspect was able to check in with 3 weapons in his luggage without alert. The overland train route avoided every airport screening. The outer perimeter was crossed at a run, not in stealth. The corridor checkpoint was fired on before any backup arrived. Each failure in isolation looked small. Stacked together, they formed the 4-foot corridor. What worked was the layered system. The counter-assault team inside the ballroom. The tactical decision to extract the vice president before the president. The containment of the shooter before the double door. What did not work was the hotel's screening at check-in. The monitoring of guests with suspicious luggage. The advanced communication between the hotel chain and the Secret Service. The president walked out alive. The agent is recovering. And somewhere in Torrance, California, someone is reviewing a 1,000-word manifesto signed by a teacher of the month. Were those 10 seconds that separated the vice president's exit from the president's exit correct calculation or protocol failure? Comment below with one word only: calculation or failure. And if next time there are no 10 seconds, if next time the shooter is not a Caltech engineer, but someone trained? Next Thursday, I'm publishing the full reconstruction of what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, in July of 2024. The 8 rounds. The 3 seconds between the first shot and the president going down. And the rooftop blind spot the Secret Service did not cover that day. Subscribe. Hit the bell. See you next time.
Ini